as these protests are violent down here. And we're back there inside the Nord Stream bar. People have just broken through that. Obviously these windows are not, and people have just broken through and are looting inside and taking things. We can see them running around inside the lifts.
In the recent months, we have been witnessing the formation of two opposing sides that I would call biblical: the children of the light and the children of darkness. The children of light constitute the most conspicuous part of humanity, while the children of darkness represent an absolute minority. And yet the former are the object of some sort of discrimination, which places them in a situation of moral inferiority with respect to their adversaries, who often hold strategic positions in the government, in politics, in the economy, and in the media. In an apparently inexplicable way, the good are held hostage by the wicked, and those who help them either out of self-interest or fearfulness. These two sides, which have a biblical nature, follow the clear separation between the offspring of the woman and the offspring of the serpent. On the one hand, there are those who, although they have thousands of defects and weaknesses, are motivated by the desire to do good, to be honest, to raise a family, to engage in work, to give prosperity to their homeland, to help the needy, and in obedience to the law of God, the merit of the kingdom of heaven. Then, on the other hand, there are those who serve themselves, who do not hold any moral principles, who want to demolish the family and the nation, exploit workers to make themselves unduly wealthy, foment internal divisions and wars, and accumulate power and money. For them, the phallus illusion of temporal well-being will one day, if they do not repent, yield to the terrible fate that awaits them, far from God, in eternal damnation. We will also discover that the riots in these days were provoked by those who, seeing that the virus is inevitably fading and that the social alarm of the pandemic is waning, necessarily have to provoke civil disturbances, because they would be followed by repression, which, although legitimate, could be condemned as an unjustified aggression against the population. The same thing is also happening in Europe, in perfect synchrony. It is quite clear that the use of street protest is very instrumental to the purposes of those who would like to see someone elected in the upcoming presidential elections who embodies the goals of the deep state and who expresses these goals faithfully and with conviction. It'll not be surprising if, in a few months, we learn once again that the hidden behind these acts of vandalism and violence in the streets, the looting and the burning, those are those who hope to profit from the dissolution of the social order, so as to build a world without freedom and without liberty, without prosperity, because to them all lives don't matter. For God made all lives, so therefore all lives matter. Satan didn't make any lives, so therefore all lives don't matter. Good morning, Patriots. Welcome to the Patriot Hour. I am Michael. If you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed. Ring that bell. Never take what we say here to be 100% fact, 100% word. Do your own research. Collect your own dots. Watch everyone you want. Read everything you can. Look at all D-class, FOIA requested information. That's Freedom of Information Act. And even things like WikiLeaks. Instead of believing the liars and what they try to tell you what they meant, look at their email exchanges and read what they said. Don't believe what they said. All right, we're over here on Operation Disclosure. New Q drops. Long list of pedophiles. Sierra NZ. Thursday, September 3rd. A contributing writer, Sierra NZ. Operation Disclosure. Again, the time is 09:14 And I actually did a video on this same Q drops about 2 weeks ago. I kind of compiled all the US politics that have gone down on both sides. So again, I found my Twitter hero who was lost for several weeks. You will recognize his name and his new account, Inevitable 2020. So this is great. Welcome back. It's definitely him. All the signs are there. Here is this tweet on the Q drops with the pedophile list. If you notice, there is no bias with Q. Q is not afraid to also expose the Republican side. We the people don't care who goes down either. If you're guilty, then you're guilty. Time for some equal justice under the law. All the pedos named in the new Q post found here. Now again, my last video goes over all of these. And then about 2 weeks ago, I covered every single name, if not maybe more or just exact in a 2 week ago video with the list I compiled. If you notice, there's no bias with Q. Q is not afraid to also expose the Republican side. We the people don't care who goes down either. If you're guilty, then you're guilty. Time for some equal justice under the law. All the pedos named in the new Q post. Inevitable tweet. Q drop number 4634. Why did it take a political outsider to finally in the brackets, confront China? The answer to that question is easy. All the political insiders are corruptible. They can be controlled via blackmail through their involvement in the deep state engineered satanic pedophile ring. Donald Trump is extremely wealthy. He could not be controlled. End of story. Speaking of President Trump, here he is in superb form, accusing the media to their face of fueling the current violence in the U.S. We got a Mavis J at Mavis J1. He was targeted. They executed a man in the street, a religious man, and they were so happy that he had died. POTUS. At Real Donald Trump asked, who is fueling this? His answer may not surprise you. Hashtag Portland riots.
The way they shot the young gentleman in the street, he was targeted. They targeted him. They shot him in the street, and then they were so happy, and he died. You don't mention that. You mentioned somebody sprayed paint at somebody from the other side. They shot a man in the street. They executed a man in the street. A religious man in the street. And you don't mention it. It's not even a story. You talk about other things. The press should be ashamed of themselves. I think the press is actually, the media is what's fueling this, more so than even Biden, because Biden doesn't know he's alive. The press is really fueling this, and they're fueling it horribly, and you're doing a great disservice to your country. Okay, any other questions?
A great disservice to this country, indeed. That's all Trump's ever said. People get really offended. A free and open press. Well, when you don't give the truth, when you paint your own narrative, just like Trump said, the press is fueling it. Biden doesn't even know he's alive. Today, social media was full of enraged messages. A young pregnant Victorian mother was arrested by police officers in her own home in front of her preschoolers. The officers burst into her house, waving search warrants, and handcuffed her while she was still in her pajamas. Her terrible crime? She posted on Facebook about a lockdown protest in her hometown of Ballarat. Here's the video of her arrest in a tweet by Aussie Dr. McGregor. The Victorian government will receive a reckoning from the people of Australia. Aussies, welcome to the deep state. I suggest you start researching Q and understand what is really going on. This is not about a virus. It's about the power loss of these animals.
Through my house.
You're the five or 10?
Yeah, I own this house.
There it is. There's a search warrant.
Search warrant for what?
Now, what I will explain to you is if you want to listen, you got your phone going.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right. Now, you're under arrest in relation to incitement.
Incitement?
Yeah. But, now, you're not obliged to say or do anything, but anything you say or do may be given evidence.
Excuse me, incitement for what? What on earth? Excuse me, what on earth?
So just put your phone down.
Can you like
relation
record
to-
this? I'm in my pajamas.
What's
I had
this?
an ultrasound in an hour. because
Yeah,
I'm
she's pregnant, so
Well, take it easy.
What's this about?
But I have an ultrasound
Just let me
in
finish.
an hour.
Let me finish and I'll explain. It's in relation to a Facebook post, in relation to a lockdown protest you put on for Saturday.
Yeah, and I wasn't breaking any laws by doing
You
that.
are actually, you are breaking all. That's why I'm arresting you in relation to
In
this.
front
How
of
can
my
you arrest
children,
her?
In
That's-
front of my 2 children.
Can't you just say to her, take the post down? Like, come
I'm
on.
happy to
Not obliged.
delete the post. This
Should-
is ridiculous.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I have to give you each portion of rights. You understand?
Yeah, that's
You're
fine.
not-
Like, I'm
not
happy to
obliged
delete the
say
post.
do
This is
anything.
ridiculous.
You
Like,
can
this is
say
in front of
do,
my... That's
maybe
fine.
giving evidence. You understand that?
Yeah, that's fine. But my 2 kids are here. I have an ultrasound in an hour. Like, I'm happy to
Let me
delete
finish.
the post.
You also have the right to communicate with or to communicate with a legal practitioner. You understand those rights?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is a bit unfair. Come on, mate.
No,
What about she just doesn't do the event? Like, it's not like she's done it.
well,
She
you
made a
already
post.
committed the offence. So I'm not going to.
So that's an offence.
Now, the search warrant entitles us, and we're required to seize any computers, any mobile devices you have.
Yeah. Can I just get your badge there, mate? It's all there.
All right, so you're seeing some.
lot of stress on her too. She's pregnant. Like, come on.
All right, so there you go. That would, some moron ever showed up at my house like that, so be it. I would not comply. I would not give them the time of day. I would say go arrest some of your government officials for inciting all the frickin' lies that have been going on. These people are absolute clowns, absolute morons. As we expose the deep state, you're going to see them not make much sense. They never did anyway. But as you become more and more awake, it becomes more and more prevalent. And those with the eyes to see will see, and the ears to hear will hear. And that's all we're trying to do. Give you the goggles to see this nonsense, this lie that is spreading around the world. As these deep state players get exposed and their handlers are going off the rails behind the scenes, you're going to see the puppets do things that they would never normally be able to do. Everything's been hijacked and sped up. Their process doesn't make sense as they scramble around trying to come up with plan Z, because plan A through, Y fell apart. The Patriot Hour gear for the Patriots. You guys asked for it. It is now up. thepatriothour.com. The link is down below, right underneath this video. We appreciate all the support. We've been heavily shadow banned since 2.5 years ago, from day one, going on 3 years, and we have become demonetized right at the beginning of the COVID. They have deemed the channel dangerous, disturbing. The world is a very disturbing place. We do not disagree. We're just here trying to shed some light on all of the lies. Thank you for all of your support. We truly appreciate it. Again, all the links are down below. Have a great day. God bless. And where we go one, we go all.